Welcome to step 9, creating your very first service offer. Over the previous 8 steps, we've done a ton of things. You've created a simple business idea that aligns with one of our profitable 3 buckets: health, wealth, or relationships. You have a well-crafted, unique value proposition that helps make you stand out to your ideal customers. You've got clean and clear social media profiles, a simple website, 90 days worth of content ideas, a small network of online friends, and you finally have that free discovery call on your website, and hopefully you're starting to run more discovery calls. 10, 15, 20. Again, the number is arbitrary. You just want to start running those calls. So in this step, obviously, we want to create our first service offer. But before we do, let's go back to our prospect that we talked to in step 8. We owe that person an email after our discovery call. When we send them an email, we really want to do 4 things. We want to confirm everything that we heard from them, share how we would tackle the problem, walk through how our service works, and position our service as a great fit or the best fit if it actually is, right? If it's not a good fit, you want to be honest and tell them that. So here's the email that I might write to the prospect from step 8. I took off the intro and the sincerely at the bottom. This is just sort of the meat and potatoes of the email. I also didn't include any rapport building or hi, how are you? It was really great to get to know you. None of that stuff. This is just the body of that email. So as I get into the body of the email, I might start by recapping what I heard. Mr. Prospect, here's what I heard from you. People are still finding your landing pages, but conversion rate is down about 1%. You've tried things to fix it. New copy, new images, colors, buttons, CTAs, but nothing is working. However, I didn't hear anything about doing any A/B testing. The drop that you're experiencing, that 1%, is costing you about $3,000 a month or roughly $36,000 annually. It's your top priority to fix, and you're hoping to have it fixed by June 1st. Does that all sound about right? So we're just recapping everything that we learned from the customer, and we're giving them an opportunity to say to us, no, that's not right. You actually misunderstood something. But hopefully we have it right. The next thing that I might do is put together how I would approach the solution. And so I wrote here, rather than tear everything down and start from scratch, that's expensive and time consuming, I'm going to start conducting some detailed A/B testing. I can run those tests over a period of 3 months with the goal of using the data from that test to drive a 1% or better improvement on your landing page conversions. Given my experience helping other customers like you, I'm confident that we can get to that improvement in 3 months. That means for you, instead of being a $36,000 problem, I'm moving into the financials. Remember, he has a $36,000 problem. We're going to recapture $27,000 in lost revenue. Now, if you don't follow that math, that's because I'm going to solve this problem in 3 months, which means the 9 months that he has on the back end, instead of burning $3,000 a month, he's going to get back to normal. So he'll only burn $3,000 for 3 months while I'm working on the problem. I'm going to help him recapture $27,000 in lost revenue. Next, I move on to kind of scoping out the work. Given the work involved, roughly 20 hours per month, I would charge $2,000 per month for a total of $6,000. My only ask is, and this is a kind of thing that I do to paint a future pretty picture, is I say something like, my only ask is, if I deliver, I'd love to chat at the conclusion of this project about how I can drive more traffic to the pages to take advantage of our new and improved conversion rate. I'm doing a lot of things here. The first thing I'm doing in the email is I'm recapping. The second thing I'm doing is I'm making a mathematical equation. You're going to pay me $6,000 and I'm going to recapture $27,000 of lost revenue. Sounds like a pretty good deal. Not only am I going to recapture that $27,000, but Mr. Prospect, you don't have to keep messing around trying to figure the problem out. You're going to get a bunch of your time back. If I had a bigger screen, I'd probably write that in the email as well, right? Then I'm setting up what my business costs, again, $6,000, and I'm painting a future pretty picture. I'm painting a picture where in the future, if I deliver on my word, I want to talk about sending more traffic your way. I want to take advantage of those improved landing pages and hopefully sell more of your new product, right? What I'm trying to get the customer to do is envision a future where their landing pages are back to normal and I'm helping them get more traffic. I want them to see that as they're reading this email, right? Lastly, I'm setting the timeline. We know they want to have this solved by June 1st because of this new product launch. In this example, I'm pretending it's February 17th. And so obviously, if we need to have this solved by June 1st, and it takes 3 months, we've got to start on March 1st. So I might write something like, given that it's already February 17th, we need to start on March 1st to have the full 3 months. Does that sound fair? Would love to hear your thoughts. We have a timeline. If they don't sign the contract by March 1st, the work's not done in time for the new product launch. That way, if February 28th rolls around, I can reach out to them and say, hey, no urgency on my end, but what I heard from you is that you wanted to have this problem solved on June 1st. Given that it's February 28th, we got to get started tomorrow. Here's the contract. If you still want to move forward, you got to sign today in order to get things done by June 1st, right? That's his timeline in this example, not mine. This is a simple email format. You can copy this, you can add to it, you can make it more your voice, but this will give you a great way to send an email after you do a discovery call. Now, in order to put together our first service offer, we got to do more than just one discovery call. That is an ad hoc offer, right? We're just like, okay, I think it would take about this long and, it cost about this much. What we're trying to do is get a more standard offer over time. So what you want to do really is run as many of these ad hoc projects as possible to start to figure out some commonalities between projects. Not just commonalities between projects, but also commonalities between the work that you do, right? What actually works when you do it? What doesn't? What in your process or your workflow or the things you do needs to be added? What isn't having much of an impact and can be eliminated? What things were difficult? Where was there friction, either in your process, in your solution, or with the customer? How could you make it faster, better, easier? And how should the work overall at some point be structured? And what should it cost? You don't want to get into this routine where you're pitching 1,000 different price points. Everything is custom. We want to try and get this down into a standard framework. If you can run 15 or 20 different projects over time, and again, the number's arbitrary. It might be that you need to do 10 or 50, right? Look for commonalities. But if you can get these answers, you can start to put together your first standardized offer. Keep it simple. Step 1, write down the most common outcomes that your customers want to achieve. After running 20 projects, there are probably common outcomes that people want or common problems that they have. So for example, you might find that 80% of the projects that you do, those customers already have a landing page, just like this customer. And the pages are usually experiencing anywhere of a drop between 1% and 2%. If you start to see that with 80% of the people you talk to, this is an opportunity to have a standardized offer. You might create something like, my service is the 90-day landing page optimizer. It will help you increase the conversion rate of your landing page by 1% to 2% in just 90 days. Now, we have a standard offer. Does that mean that the 20% of people who didn't need that are no longer good fits? You could still take on those ad hoc projects, but the better you get at this specific project, the better you get at this standardized offer, the faster you can do it, the easier you can do it, the more you can charge for it, the more testimonials you can collect. We are standardizing this great offer. Step 2, once we have that sort of offer figured out, we want to figure out why is it likely that your customer will achieve the outcome. So create some simple outcome statements. Statements like in just 90 days or join 115 plus other people who have already achieved X. Some statement that speaks to the customer around why this is a likely outcome. So for example, in ours might be in 90 days, go from low, unpredictable conversion rates to predictably higher conversion using our data-driven A/B testing approach. Cool. Data-driven, go from unpredictable to predictable. That's transformational copy using our A/B testing approach. This is how we actually do it, right? Step 3, share and collect testimonials or collect and share testimonials. I like to get 5, 10, 15 testimonials to really support this service, but you can start with a really core testimonial. So someone might write something like, brilliant. Stephanie optimized our landing page using real data. And in 90 days, we went from a 2.4 conversion rate to a 3.7% conversion rate. That means an extra $5,300 per month in revenue for our business. Step 4, what are you doing to help customers minimize the effort during not just the process, but when you're done working for them and fixing the landing pages? That's where accelerants come in. And accelerants are simply things like resources, like the Creator MBA workstation is a resource or accelerant for this course. So for example, you might say, inside of the 90-day landing page optimizer, you'll find a 365-day cheat sheet to continuously monitor and improve your landing pages. You'll also get one 20-minute check-in call per quarter over the next 12 months to ensure things are running smoothly. Cool. Accelerants, little micro offers underneath our umbrella standard offer. You can take those 4 steps and you can create a simple page where people can book your service. You can see what I've done here, right? Increase the conversion rate of your landing page in 90 days. That is our standard offer. Underneath that header, I take some of the language we just created in those 4 steps and use it. In 90 days, go from low, unpredictable conversion rates to predictably higher conversion rates using our data-driven A/B testing approach. Then I pull our testimonial, our core testimonial, right up underneath those buttons. Brilliant, Stephanie, blah, 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 right? Book a consult, take a look at our customers. This is an awesome landing page selling a standardized service. You could include your pricing, you could include FAQ, you could include an opportunity to book a consult or discovery call. You now have a place where you've standardized your service so that if somebody has a different problem than this, it may not make sense for them to book you. Alternatively, you can have a page that lists additional services. So if you want to capture different problems, you can do that. If you want to find your 3 core problems that you want to solve with your service business, each one can have a different page underneath the header on your website. There are so many different options. But I like starting with one standardized offer after running through a bunch of custom consults. This is how you land on one. So hopefully that made a lot of sense. You have a simple action step after this step. I want you to walk through the previous process after you do 10, 12, 15 different sort of custom projects. And I want you to create your first standard offer. And I want you to support it with a specific landing page after walking through the previous 4 steps. That will allow you to standardize your business, make it simple, make it easy, make it fast. If you want to learn more about creating great offers, I go pretty in-depth on that inside of Chapter 7, Lesson 3, Building Effective Offers. Now that we've got a discovery call, we've got a service offer, we can start doing something really interesting. And that is getting more prospects into our funnel with something called a free lead magnet. That's going to be step 10. I'll see you inside.